Super Mario Odyssey is turning 8 years old in October, and we still have no idea when the next 3D Mario game is set to release. Just to illustrate how crazy that is, when this game first came out, I was barely 13 years old. Now I'm paying rent. This is the longest wait we've ever had in between 3D Mario games, but with the Switch 2 having just released, everyone was feeling pretty confident that we'd get news on the next entry very soon. Well, until this happened. Now it seems like the greater Nintendo fanbase has pretty much lost all hope for Mario releasing anywhere near launch, but some new information has completely restored my confidence that we're not as far out as most people are saying. But wait! Before I reveal what that piece of information is, I just wanted to say thank you all so much for watching this video. I just started this brand new YouTube channel, so your support means the absolute most. But with all that said, we are back to the video. Work on Donkey Kong Bananza began very soon after Odyssey's release in 2017 by Nintendo EPD8. In case you're unaware, Nintendo splits up their developers into various teams to focus on specific franchises. For example, the team EPD5 focuses on both Animal Crossing and Splatoon. But because 3D Mario is such a beast to develop, EPD8 has historically only worked on those games. Obviously, this precedent was broken with Bananza, leading a lot of people to come to the conclusion that Mario had been completely pushed aside in favor of DK. With some notable content creators even going as far as to say that Bananza was the Switch 2's Mario Odyssey. On the surface, this idea makes total sense. If the Mario dev team was spending all their time working on Donkey Kong, then no work must have been done on Mario. But if that were true, and EPD8 is starting from scratch right now, then it stands to reason that the earliest we can expect the next Mario game is 2029. Now here's the best argument I have against that. Nintendo wants to make money. And I get it, doomsday prepping makes for really clickable YouTube videos, but come on, there's not a world where Nintendo isn't already deep into development on the next Mario game. And a closer look at Bananza seemingly proves this. I know most gamers just skip the credits after beating these games, but I didn't, and not doing so proved a rumor that had been previously circulating online. It seems that Bananza was primarily made by the younger members of EPD8, so that begs the question, what were the senior developers doing? To me, the answer's pretty obvious. And beyond that, the existence of the next 3D Mario game should be a common sense understanding. Mario's at the top of the totem pole when it comes to Nintendo's properties, and a large number of their consumers buy these consoles primarily to play Mario games. Not having one ready to go at the beginning of their console's life would frankly be a stupid decision. And so, rationally, you may be wondering, then why don't we know anything about it yet? Well, that's a little bit more complicated, as it's likely due to a combination of factors. For one thing, we've seen Nintendo dramatically reducing the amount of time it takes between reveal and release, with some notable exceptions. This idea is best exemplified in Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bananza's marketing campaigns. Mario Kart had a small tease in January and then a full reveal in April before releasing in June. Depending on how you look at it, that's a 6-month or 2-month window. DK Bananza is an even more dramatic story, being revealed for the very first time in April and then released in July, only a 3-month time frame. Even post-launch games are applicable here, like Splatoon Raiders being revealed in June with a release date set for sometime in 2025, or upwards of 6 months for marketing. Now compare that to the nearly year-long wait for Mario Odyssey, and we're looking at some major decreases. Assuming that this is the new norm, then it would follow that Mario would likely be announced 6 months before release. Keep this in mind as we proceed. Other than that, I think that Bananza is still a major elephant in the room. If they were to announce another 3D platformer so soon after Donkey Kong, it could very easily cannibalize sales and destroy the hype cycle for that game. The core idea that I think Nintendo fans are getting wrong here is that Bananza is not the Switch 2's Mario Odyssey. It's its Breath of the Wild. In 2017, The Legend of Zelda was a massive franchise already. However, when Breath of the Wild launched alongside the Switch, it doubled the typical sales for a Zelda game. This went on to be known as the Switch effect when other series got the same treatment, such as Pikmin or Mario Kart. But I don't think people give enough credit to the strategy that Nintendo employed here. Mario released only a few months later, it was basically ready to go. But leading with Zelda instead blew that franchise to heights that it had never reached before. And now, they released the first Donkey Kong game in 11 years as the second first-party exclusive on the system? To me, it's clear that they're trying to revitalize DK in the same way they did to Zelda back in 2017. And dropping Mario too soon would really ruin that, so they're holding back. I mean, they gave this guy a whole theme park and a massive part in the Mario movie. Do you honestly think that they're not trying to push him as the next major staple? So here's my prediction. You can clip it or quote me if I'm wrong, but I think that the next 3D Mario game is going to be announced during a September Nintendo Direct. It'll likely be shown off during a Mario 40th anniversary segment or something like that. Then, just locking in a day here, I think it'll be released on March 10th, National Mario Day. It lines up with Nintendo's new short cycle marketing, gives DK some time to shine, and delivers a hype moment when the Switch 2 needs it most. It's too perfect. Not to mention, it perfectly coincides with Mario's 40th anniversary. But this is the internet, so you likely think that I'm wrong. If so, feel free to come back to this video in a few months to drop me a comment on how well this take aged. If you want to hear more about the 11-year wait for Donkey Kong that I touched on in this video, you can click on the big monkey that's next to me on screen. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching, and please remember, believe to achieve.